Gemini, if you're here right now, believe that this isn't the gentle coincidence you think it is. Something has pulled you to this moment, a feeling you can't quite name, like a strange wind brushing through your mind, whispering, "What's coming tomorrow is much bigger than you imagine." You've seen the signs, haven't you? Someone's unusual silence, a different kind of look, a sudden intuition that made your heart sink and then rise again, without you knowing why. And if you felt that, Gemini, then you are exactly where you're meant to be. There are moments when you feel watched, as if unspoken words are hanging somewhere in the air, words you know will surface sooner or later. You're not imagining it. The energy around you is shifting in a way that's no longer subtle. And what you don't know is, someone is genuinely afraid of that shift. They can feel that tomorrow, a truth meant specifically for you will be revealed, and it's strong enough to shake those who once misjudged you. Gemini, if you feel my words touching a very deep place within you, gently tap like and subscribe. Leave a short comment as an affirmation, a signal sent to the universe, for example, "I'm ready for tomorrow's shift." Just one sentence, enough to activate the energy that's opening in front of you. And now, before we go deeper into what's waiting for you, give yourself a moment. Make a cup of tea or your favorite coffee. Sit down comfortably, because what's coming next is not just a prediction. It's a journey, a reminder your soul has been waiting a long time to hear. Part 1. The silent energy shift, and the enemy starts to panic. Gemini, I want you to take a slow, gentle, deep breath before we step into this part. Because what I'm about to say may feel like someone just touched a very private corner of your soul, a place you rarely allow anyone to enter. But right now, we're sitting together like two close friends, and you don't need to guard yourself. You just need to listen. The fact that you're here is not accidental. There's a current of energy guiding you to the right place, the right moment, the right frequency you need. You may have felt something vague in recent days, a strange vibration in your chest, an unexplainable restlessness, or blurry dreams about change. All of those are symptoms of a powerful shift that has just begun around you. And you know what the most interesting part is? You might not be able to name it yet, but the people who once underestimated you can feel it before you do. They won't admit it, but they're afraid. Gemini, your energy is changing direction, softly, but clearly. And when a Gemini's energy shifts, the whole world around them trembles with it. Have you noticed? A few people suddenly go quiet. Someone looks at you with a strange expression. A connection that seemed irrelevant suddenly becomes tense for no reason. A person who used to speak confidently about you now avoids mentioning your name. None of that is random. Those are signs of the shift. Signs that the truth is getting closer, and someone is afraid to face it. Gemini is an air sign, flexible, fast, sharp. But in this energetic phase, you're not just air, you're the wind that changes seasons. You blow through all layers of pretense, all lies, all manipulation, not loudly, not with declarations, simply with intuition, the intuition you've always had, but didn't always trust. The truth is, you see everything, even when you pretend not to. You hear the change in someone's voice. You sense the shift in their eyes. You read energy before someone even says their first word. Gemini knows. And that is exactly what makes those who thought they could hide something from you uneasy. In recent times, you may have felt watched, not in a threatening way, but like someone is waiting to see how you react, whether you've discovered something, whether you still let them direct your emotions, and you remained silent. No reaction, No response. No jumping into any confrontation. You know what? That silence scares them more than any reply ever could. You've stepped into a phase where rivals, jealous people, selfish ones, or those wearing a mask of kindness, all feel it clearly. Gemini is no longer easy to read. You're no longer scattered, dragged into drama, or manipulated emotionally. Your mind is getting sharper and they're scrambling because they don't know how much you've already seen through. And then there's something else you've felt recently, a very strange stillness. Not peace, but the quiet right before the truth cracks the surface. The quiet before a secret is exposed. The quiet before a door opens at the right moment. Gemini, tomorrow will be a subtle turning point, but strong enough to shift a piece of your life, a piece of information, a message, a truth, a moment of realization about what you've sensed for a long time. And it won't just affect you. It will make those who hurt you or underestimated you no longer stand in the position they once did. Trust me when I say this. They know what's coming. You may not fully know it yet. But they know. And they're afraid. I'll dive deeper into this in the next part. But before we continue, if you truly are a Gemini feeling this vibration clearly, take a second to hit subscribe and leave a comment, gentle but powerful. I'm aligned, as a confirmation to the universe that you are ready for what is approaching. And now, settle in a little more comfortably. We're about to step into something even more important. Part 2. The silent rise of Gemini and the energy that cannot be faked. Gemini, there is a truth you may have never said out loud, but I know you feel it deeply. You have changed. Not the loud, flashy kind of change, not the kind meant to prove something to anyone. It's the kind of growth that happens in silence, an awakening that only the truly perceptive can sense. And do you know the most remarkable part? The very people who once underestimated you are the ones who feel it the most. In the past, Gemini was easily pulled into drama, easily distracted by the emotions of others, and cared too much about words that weren't sincere. But today, your energy is no longer the energy of someone trying to be understood. You've shifted into a different frequency, deeper, brighter, and far more grounded. You don't need to say everything you know. You don't need to explain your every thought. You don't need to defend yourself with words, because you've entered a stage where your silence carries more weight than 1,000 arguments. And that is exactly why they're afraid. Gemini, have you noticed? There are things you know but have never spoken. You see through pretense. You feel the shift in someone's attitude, in their eyes, in their smallest choice of words. You read energy before people can hide it behind a smile. People often think Gemini knows a little or senses a bit. But the truth is, you know far more than they imagine. And the most admirable part of you is this. You don't expose it. You stay silent, watching, observing, allowing everything to reveal itself in its own time. That silence is what makes them lose control. They were used to a version of Gemini who reacted easily, who felt hurt easily, who rushed into conversations for fairness, who chased closure. Now that you don't do that anymore, they don't know how to handle you. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know how much you've discovered. They don't know whether you still trust them. And that uncertainty unsettles them more than any truth ever could. Because Gemini's silence has never been empty. Your silence is a choice, a strength, a wordless declaration. I no longer chase what doesn't belong to me. In the energy of this part, 2 tarot cards appear to describe exactly what you are stepping into. The Magician, the creator through intelligence. This card is always a symbol of Gemini. Words, thinking, logic, intuition, the ability to see multiple angles. It says that you are reclaiming control, not through noise, but through clarity. You're mastering your mind. And when Gemini masters the mind, everything around them naturally realigns. Judgment, the truth surfaces without you lifting a finger. This is the card of revelation, of inner calling, of what was hidden now refusing to stay hidden. Tomorrow, or very soon, a truth, a message, a statement, a moment will come to you. And the special part is, you won't need to do anything. No searching, no confronting, no exposing. The truth will find you. It will rise on its own. It will move to exactly the person who needs to face it. All you need is to stand firmly in the new light you've stepped into. You are no longer the Gemini who wavers because of someone's opinion. You are becoming a more mature, powerful, and insightful version of yourself. A version that others look at with caution because they can no longer read you so easily. Gemini, I know you feel this. You know something is shifting. You know the energy around you is no longer the same. And you know you are rising. If you feel like you're stepping into a stronger version of yourself, hit subscribe as a way of marking this milestone. And leave a comment with one word that describes your energy right now. Something like powerful, aligned, awakened, or unshaken. Harm dark. Just one word. But it is the key that unlocks the next part of this journey. Part 3. The astrological alignment made for Gemini. Mercury, Jupiter, the node shift. Gemini, this might be the part you feel the strongest, because it touches the very core of who you are. Thinking, truth, words, intellect, and destiny. If the first two parts spoke about the shifting energies and your silent rise, then this section is the universe's explanation. Why is everything happening right now? Why is tomorrow important? And why were you pulled here? It all begins with the movement of 3 astrological forces that are profoundly significant for Gemini: Mercury, Jupiter, and the North Node. And this energy is for no one else but you. Mercury, the breath of Gemini, aligning directly with Jupiter. You are ruled by Mercury, the planet of intellect, words, analysis, communication, information, flexibility, and logical intuition. When Mercury moves, Gemini feels it instantly. But when Mercury aligns directly with Jupiter, what happens is no longer a small shift. It is the opening of destiny. Jupiter amplifies everything it touches. Opportunities, truths, words, reputation, beliefs, and even justice. So when Mercury, your voice, merges with Jupiter, the expansion of the universe, it means your words become power. The truth you carry becomes magnified. The information you receive changes direction. A single message, conversation, or piece of news can redirect your entire life. And the special part, Gemini, is that tomorrow is exactly when this alignment hits its energetic peak. It's not a coincidence that your opponent chose tomorrow as their pivot point. But for Gemini, the meaning of tomorrow is entirely different. It isn't just blessings arriving. It is truth returning, reputation returning, your voice returning, your value being seen again, the North Node, the destiny current pulling you into a new chapter. The North Node is the soul's direction. It's not a planet, but the path of destiny, the place you must move toward, even when you're afraid, even when you're not ready. When the North Node exerts strong influence on Gemini, it means the universe is pulling you out of the old chapter. Anything untrue dissolves. Fake connections fall away. The right people begin to appear. Your reputation, integrity, and image get cleansed. Have you noticed this happening recently? Someone suddenly distancing themselves, a relationship becoming strangely loose. People who hurt you, quietly avoiding you, situations that were blurry now becoming clearer. The North Node always pulls you back onto your rightful path. And this time, it is pulling you back to your truth. The message email called Truth Revealed. Gemini, you were born to process information, to see what others don't see, to hear what others don't hear. And when Mercury meets Jupiter, information becomes fortune. So, tomorrow, or very soon, a message, an email, a call, an accidental conversation, a sentence that seems ordinary, may become your turning point. It could be an opportunity you thought was gone, an apology you never expected, a truth you sensed long ago, someone stepping in to defend you, someone's true colors slipping, something hidden, rising on its own. You don't need to do anything. The truth will find you. Rumors, misunderstandings, defamation. Everything is exposed. Gemini is often the most misunderstood sign of the zodiac because you speak fast, think fast, shift emotions fast. People can't keep up. They create their own stories about you. But in this energy, Jupiter will finally do something you've waited a long time for. The truth will stand with you. A rumor breaks apart. A misunderstanding becomes clear. A lie backfires. Someone who hurt you walks into their own trap, and you will stand at the highest point of the story, calm, gentle, and without the need to defend yourself. Because this is the moment Gemini reclaims their voice and reputation, not through arguing, but through the light of truth. End of part 3. Gemini, if you've ever been misunderstood, spoken wrongly about, or quietly hurt, this is when the energy shifts in your favor. Gently leave a comment. My truth returns. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next part, where I'll talk about the role of the restoration that's coming for you, something that will make everything shift faster than you expect. Part 4, Restoration. Reputation, money, opportunities, and spiritual power returning. Gemini. If the first 3 parts spoke about awakening, truth being revealed, and the alignment of the planets, then this part is where the energy turns toward you the most clearly. This is the part I want you to read slowly and deeply, because it will touch exactly what you've gone through lately. The unspoken losses, the wounds you never told anyone about, the twisted words, the dismissed efforts, and the things you deserved but never received. Now, we speak about Jupiter, the planet of justice, reward, and expansion. When Jupiter begins to shift in your favor, everything you endured in silence will be returned to you in a way that surprises you. Jupiter returns what you lost in the most beautiful and deserved way. Gemini, I know you've been wronged. You lost money, lost opportunities, lost your place. You were misunderstood or judged unfairly. Someone took something that belonged to you sometimes. Your reputation, sometimes your trust, sometimes your peace of mind. But Jupiter never forgets, and Jupiter always returns doubled. Money that slipped away comes back right when you need it. Something you thought was gone reappears through a notification. An opportunity you believed you lost returns in an unexpected way. The universe never closes a door without opening a far better one. Relationships that were distorted return to their true form. You were misunderstood. Your words were twisted. You were placed into a story that wasn't yours. You stayed silent because arguing felt useless, or because you knew it wouldn't matter. But as Jupiter moves, these things begin to reverse. Someone who misunderstood you sees the truth on their own. Someone who doubted you begins to regret it. A connection that felt cold returns to its original energy. The truth you kept inside begins to be spoken by others. No explanation needed. No justification needed. No debate necessary. The truth goes exactly where it needs to go. And your reward finds its own way back to you. Your voice is returned, in a way no one can deny. Gemini is the symbol of words, thinking, and truth. But recently, you may have felt strangely silent. Not because you had nothing to say, but because you no longer felt the need to speak. You let energy speak for you, and that's when you became your strongest. Now, it's the universe's turn to return to you. Respect, recognition, credibility, reputation, clarity in your voice and mind. You'll notice people beginning to listen to you more. Your opinions carry more weight. Your words create stronger impact. No one underestimates you anymore because they can't. Gemini enters the restoration phase. Gentle but undeniable healing. Restoration doesn't arrive with noise. It comes like the light of a beautiful morning, soft, clear, unmistakable. You'll feel it through small details. You sleep deeper. Your mind feels less chaotic. An inner storm suddenly quiets. You no longer feel pulled by anyone's energy. You feel wider, brighter inside. You no longer feel the urge to prove anything. That is the sign of restoration. You are returning to yourself. Practical guidance for Gemini. In this phase, to receive the full restoration energy, Gemini needs to do 3 things. Clean up information and reorganize your tasks. You're an air sign. Your mind is your home. A cluttered mind blocks new energy. Clear your inbox. Notes, task lists, stored files. You'll see magic right when you create space. Protect your mental energy. Stop overthinking. Overthinking drains your power. In this phase, mental rest is essential. Give yourself permission to be silent. Give yourself permission not to answer immediately. Give yourself permission to step back when needed. Selective communication speak at the right time, to the right people. Not everyone deserves your truth. Not everyone deserves your story. Choose those who listen with intention. Choose the timing that feels right. Speak from calmness, not reaction. End of part 4. Gemini. If you are truly ready to receive the restoration the universe is preparing for you, from reputation, finances, opportunities, to inner peace, hit subscribe to stay connected to this energy, and leave one word that describes what you most want to reclaim. Peace, clarity, money, voice, love, balance, peace, and foy, foy, 2. Just one word. But it is your affirmation of the restoration you are stepping into. Part 5 Activation Ritual for Gemini. I am ready to receive my truth. Gemini, if you've made it to this part, it means your soul has chosen not to turn back. You're ready to enter the phase where truth, value, and opportunity come to you naturally without effort, without struggle, without needing to prove anything. And sometimes, to activate a new stream of energy, you don't need an elaborate ritual. You just need a quiet moment, a slow breath, and one affirmation that hits the very center of your soul. This part is the final doorway you're about to step through, and it is crafted specifically for the energy of Gemini, the zodiac of intellect, words, communication, and truth. A gentle ritual, but one that opens the door of destiny. You don't need candles. You don't need crystals. You don't need a complicated ceremony. Gemini doesn't need noise. Gemini needs clarity. A sharp intention, bright and clean like your mind. Tonight, do this. Step 1. Take a small piece of paper. It doesn't need to be pretty. It doesn't need to be special. It just needs to be something you can place near your heart or your mind. Step 2. Handwrite this sentence. My truth returns tomorrow. Write slowly. Each stroke of the pen is a call to energy. Each stroke is an affirmation that you are ready to receive what has belonged to you for a long time. Step 3. Place the paper under your pillow or tuck it inside a book you love. Why the pillow? Because that's where your subconscious works strongest. Where the things you don't say out loud still get recorded. Where truth can flow in without being blocked by fear or doubt. Why a book? Because books are the home of knowledge, and knowledge is the core energy of Gemini. Step 4. Close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and visualize this. A message arriving at the perfect moment. A call you didn't expect. Words spoken for you, not against you. A truth returning to its rightful owner. A door opening at the exact right time. An opportunity finding you without obstacles. You don't need to imagine it in detail. Just feel the emotion of it happening. The lightness, the clarity, the feeling of finally standing in your rightful place after many twists and turns. Because tomorrow isn't just a day. It's a milestone. Gemini, truth sometimes stays silent for a long time. Sometimes it gets blocked by someone's envy. Sometimes it gets blurred by rumors, misunderstandings, misinterpretations. Sometimes someone hides it to keep you behind them. But truth has its own rule. It always returns. And in this energy, with Mercury aligning with Jupiter, with the North Node pulling you into a new chapter tomorrow, is the moment that door opens. Not for everyone. For you. You alone. No one can take Gemini's voice forever. No one can hide you forever. No one can shape the story forever. Truth always returns to its rightful owner. And this time, that owner is you. A small reminder. You don't need to be loud. You don't need speeches. You don't need confrontations. You don't need to explain your story to anyone. Your power now comes from clarity, not noise, from awareness, not anger, from the energy you radiate, not the words you force out. You just need to stand in the right place, and the truth will come to you, gently, naturally, undeniably. End of part 5. Gemini, if you feel this message is yours, if you feel your soul has waited for this moment for a long time, if you sense that tomorrow carries an answer you've been searching for, hit subscribe to stay connected to this energy, and leave one word showing what you are ready to receive from the universe. Voice, clarity, truth, money, recognition, alignment, freedom. Just one word is enough for the door to open. You are ready, Gemini. I know it. Gemini, if you've listened this far, it means your soul has truly opened to receive the change the universe is preparing to give you. And perhaps the most important thing you can take with you after this video is not fear of what's coming, but the calmness that comes from realizing that life is always moving for you, not against you. The greatest lesson here is this: what belongs to you, even if delayed, will always return. Whether it is your voice, your reputation, your opportunities, your truth, or the value someone once tried to diminish, it will still find its way back to you, at the right time, in the right form, in the way you deserve. And there is another lesson Gemini needs to remember. Not every battle needs a reaction. Not every word needs a response. Not every truth needs to be revealed by you. Sometimes, simply standing in your own light is enough. Sometimes, carry these things into your daily life. Choose conversations that lift you up, not those that drain you. Protect your mental energy. Gemini falls into the spiral of overthinking very quickly. Trust your intuition, because it has never been wrong. Remember that your worth does not lie in what others say, but in what you know about yourself. And most importantly, Speak your truth when you are ready, not when others want you to. If this video touched something inside you, take a second to like and subscribe, not just to support me, but to keep yourself connected to the messages that are guiding you toward the best version of who you are becoming. And leave a short comment below as an affirmation you send to the universe. You can write, "I'm ready for my truth," or anything your mind is whispering to you in this moment. Gemini, you are stepping into a new chapter, brighter, softer, stronger. Receive it with an open heart and a clear mind, because you deserve every good thing that is finding its way to you. See you in the next video. The universe is already moving for you.